Good morning, everyone. This is episode 49, and Barry's here with you at 25 minutes to 10 o'clock, or nearly 20 to 10. Thanks for joining me here this morning on the show, and what a show we've got coming up for you today with Katz and I, and we hope that you enjoy today's show. And just an announcement, firstly, it will be the last week of the winter videos before we head into the spring series. Now, joining me here at St. Ives as always, good morning, Katz. Lovely to have you again. Thanks for coming on the show.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me, Barry.
Well, today on the show, like I've just mentioned, it will be the last week of the winter series because I'd like to get ready for spring, and this brings us very nicely onto spring. And the first topic today is how to take care of your garden. Now, always water your plants once a day, but make sure you don't leave it too late, otherwise it will get too hot. Here's my outsider for her opening sequence on this.
Yes, so it's really important coming into spring that we fertilize our garden, because during springtime is when all of our flowers start to come to seed and they start to grow. They need to. What do our gardens need to grow, Barry?
Well, you need to have good weed killers as well to kill off the dead weeds, and mulch. Now, and manure, okay? And you need good soil to grow your plants in. Here's my outsider.
Very good, Barry. What else does our garden need? Not only do we need soil, but what do we need from the
rain?
And?
Rain and sun.
Good job, Barry. We absolutely need water for our gardens, and we need sunshine.
So good gardening during the spring. Now, we can't actually take you out to see the garden, but you can see how some of the plants are overgrown there. Here's my outsider.
That's right, Barry. We're looking at our vertical garden at the moment. Do you want to tell our listeners what's in our vertical garden?
Our viewers.
Our viewers?
Well, we have a lot of flowers growing at the moment, okay, which badly need some pruning, okay, and another thing I need to talk about today about the garden, okay, is always have your gardening boots handy. You can buy gardening boots, okay, and what about a pair of shears? Here's my outsider.
Very good, Barry. Yes, we need all of those, but something that's really important that we need, because when we're digging with our hands and putting plants in and pruning, we need to protect our hands, so we always need to wear gardening gloves.
Okay, and another thing, viewers, okay, go shopping, okay, but before that, decide what vegetables you are going to grow for the spring. Here's my offsider.
That's right. So make sure you do your research before you plant any new flowers or vegetables or herbs during the springtime, because sometimes different flowers and herbs and vegetables need different times of the year to grow.
And always, like I mentioned, don't wear sneakers in the garden. Wear gardening boots. Here's my offside.
That's right, Barry, because when we're in the garden, there are lots of deadly insects like funnel web spiders or redback or whitetail spiders. Plus, there's also snakes that like to come out in the summertime.
And springtime, so always prepare yourself well and have a watering can as well. So before you go shopping, guys, for the garden, do some research and go to the staff at Bunnings or order online, and then Bunnings will deliver your gardening goods to you. Here's my offsider.
Good advice, Barry, that's right. So to wrap up our preparing your garden section, Barry will go over what protection we need, and that it's really important that when we're preparing our garden for the spring and summertime that we have the right nutrients provided.
And before we wrap up our first topic of the day on the show for episode 49, because I did episode 48 yesterday. Okay, so always have good nutrients for the garden as well, and make sure that you don't overwater your garden. Here's my offside.
That's right, Barry. It's really important to make sure that we just give our flowers and our vegetables just the right amount of water.
And make sure that you've got enough of everything. Here's my offside.
Very good advice, Barry. It's also really important to make sure that when we are preparing a garden, that depending on the types of flowers and vegetables that we are putting in there, that we either have to have it in full sunshine or half sunshine.
And talk to the staff at Bunnings too about what tools you need for the garden, like watering cans, and what about gardening gloves and boots for the kids, and get them involved as well. Here's my offside.
That's right, Barry. As you know, I have two kids, a little girl who is 8 and a little boy who's 4, and they love being outside. One of our favourite things to do together is actually to garden. So we have just moved, and we are going to set up a new herb garden at our house. So maybe I can keep you updated on how we do that.
Well, that's our gardening segment on the opening segment of our show, and we do hope that you enjoy your gardening, and if you have any questions to ask me, please do comment down below when I produce this video. So on to the next topic now. It's 14 minutes to 10. Barry Fair and Kath with you in the studio today. Thanks for joining us.